Good morning, everyone. This is Corey Hinkle with your Ankerstar Wealth Daily Update. We're going to look at what's moving in the market today and what's moving the market today. We're going to look at with the drop of the World Liberty Financial coin yesterday from President Trump and some of his family and all that. I wanted to just look at all of the crypto involvement from kind of the administration or really from President Trump to just put it at just one time, put it all in one place. So what all's going on there? And then we're going to look at some IPO news. So that's exciting on that front. But first, I do need to remind you this is a financial education presentation. You must do your own due diligence before acting on anything you hear in this presentation. More disclaimer information can be found on ankerstarwealth.com, and the opinions expressed are mine alone. All right, the market was opened down a little bit today. Honestly, at the bottom, I think the S&P was down about 1.4%. It's already only down about 0.85%. So you've recovered most of this drop. I would assume that a drop on what they mention as a cause, which I'll show you, is not going to last very long. So there was a federal appeals court on Friday ruled that most of President Trump's tariffs are illegal. I doubt that anything really comes of that, but there's a thought that if they were deemed to be illegal, then the government might have to refund the billions of revenue brought in from tariffs. And there's some jump in bond yields related to this. Again, you'll see in just a moment, bond yields aren't really at any unprecedented level. And I doubt that this is a long-term concern here. So it makes sense that the market is kind of recovering already this morning. I will take a jump over. You can see that the S&P is down just under 1%. We're kind of still comfortably in that channel there, going back to 2015. And we're really right there at the upper end. So, a sell-off, I mean, you could call it that, but it's really just kind of us hanging out in a range. We're still above last week's low. So I don't even know if I'd even really consider it sell-off. It's just kind of normal market behavior. But you can see they cited in the article the elevated bond yields, but we still haven't even topped what was set in 2023 on the 30-year. If we did, bond yields become more of a concern if they are breaking out to new highs. Where we are now, we are not breaking out to new highs, and it's not something that you'd want to overreact to. But if you do zoom out here, it does look like there's a chance we're either one in a new uptrend in rates starting back in 2020, or we're in just kind of a new normal about 4 to 5% range. It would be better if it's a new normal 4 to 5% range, but time will tell. Time will tell there. With that, you just see crude. They make they mention in the article that crude is moving higher, really on the low end of the past year. I do personally have some concerns that some of the benefits that crude oil has provided over the past year could begin to moderate on the inflation front, and that we might not, that inflation could be a bit negatively impacted by crude oil not falling for the next year. I don't know that it'll go higher, but we aren't going to get the incremental benefit that we have gotten on the inflation front. Gold also breaking out, new all-time highs, could signal some inflation concerns. Silver, it looks like it's at all-time highs. It is not, but it is approaching all-time highs. So silver moving higher today. And of course, another one is Bitcoin moving higher today as well. as it really should. Bitcoin being somewhat connected to that digital gold thesis, not as much as it once was, but still it's a part of the story. And you'd like to see the digital version of gold behave in a similar fashion as the regular gold on a day like today, where those things are moving significantly higher. All right, we had a launch yesterday of the World Liberty Financial Coin, and I wanted to take a minute and just document for the people who aren't aware everything going on for President Trump as it relates to crypto. And this is going to be his NFTs. There's multiple coins going on, and there's multiple companies that are connected. And there's even a treasury company for a cryptocurrency, not for Bitcoin. One thing that stands out to me is that there's not a ton of involvement with the president purely related to Bitcoin. And you'll see that, you can judge for yourself whatever you think. But I just wanted to take a minute to document all of the involvement in case you weren't aware of all that's going on. So first things first, if we go to OpenSea, this was going back to 2022. In 2022, President Trump launched his NFT project. So these are those non-fungible tokens. So you can own these NFTs and, sell them, resell them. It looks like about 14,000 people own these NFTs. There are actually 50,000 NFTs. And I believe they all were originally sold for $100. So, and I, assume that the $100 proceeds per NFT would have gone to the kind of their crypto team over there. Now, going on, you also have, there's actually a publicly traded stock, Trump Media and Technology Group. You've probably heard of it. Trump Media and Technology Group owns the social media platform that President Trump uses. That is Truth Social. They don't have much in the way of revenue or profits. They don't have many employees, but they do have a very large market cap. So you're looking at a $5 billion company. That's a pretty significant company in terms of size. That's a small cap company. I mean, there's lots of companies that wish they could be worth $5 billion, right? Attached to DJT, which the president does have that ownership in, DJT is also associated with Crypto.com as it relates to creating a treasury company. So you have Strategy, MicroStrategy or Strategy. They are a Bitcoin treasury company. Trump Media Group, so DJT and Crypto.com, they are connected in creating a treasury company to accumulate CRO token, which is Chronos. So they're trying to acquire as much Chronos as they can, and they're using a similar strategy that Michael Saylor has used at MicroStrategy. And this treasury company strategy has been more popular even globally, really, with some different digital currencies out there. I don't know everything about this, but in August, you had an announcement from DJT and Crypto.com to acquire $6 billion worth of Chronos over, I guess, time. That's their goal. Now, Chronos at that time didn't have a very large market cap. The market cap has since increased to about $9 billion. But if they're looking to acquire $7 billion of Chronos, presumably they're going to be driving the price significantly higher, or they want the price to go significantly higher. There's something going on there. But yeah, so you've got the Trump NFTs, you've got DJT partnered with Crypto.com, potentially even listing another company through a SPAC offering, and then that'll be all moving towards a Chronos treasury company. You also have the official Trump meme coin, which was issued by the president's team. This is a very large coin holding about 2 billion in market cap, and it's number 57. So this is a very prominent coin. It was quickly listed on Coinbase and many of the popular exchanges right after being issued. It hasn't performed very well, you know, and I can't speak to the end goal of the coin, but this is using the Solana blockchain. Now you also had an issuing of the Melania meme coin. This one not as large. It almost got to 1 billion in market cap, but it's sitting right about 164 million in market cap. That would put it probably somewhere around number like 600. So if you kind of go down the cap scale, you'd come across that Melania meme coin, about coin number 600 there. So again, these are all works from I just wanted to document it all in one place. And then yesterday, that brings us to yesterday, you had the World Liberty Financial coin, which was issued by, well, I can show you. So let me go to the team. So you can view the team there, Donald Trump being the first listed co-founder there. And the goal of World Liberty Financial, if we go back here, you know, is to blend traditional finance with the transparency of blockchain, creating a simple, accessible way to bridge classic banking with the digital finance future. This is what they say. You could see some of their goals. You go to their website and read more. Now, here's the thing about World Liberty Financial. This one is actually almost a top 20 coin. So they're sitting right about a 6 billion market cap, which puts them, I think, at number 27 the last time I looked. So this is a very significant coin in the cryptocurrency space. And it'll be, again, we're about 24 hours into trading here. And, you know, it could be assumed that they've raised quite a lot of money from issuing these on that Sunday afternoon on September 1st. And we'll see what happens with that. So you've got quite a few coins there. That's actually, as far as I know, that's everything. So quite a lot of involvement there, but not as tied to Bitcoin as I would have thought. It's really more heavily influenced. You know, there's a heavier presence in the altcoin space than the Bitcoin space right now. And we'll see how things change in the future. All right, we have a couple IPOs. Coffee chain, BlackRock Coffee. I have not been able to look at their issuing materials to see, but they are trying to raise a couple $100 million at a market cap of about 860 million. And it'll be interesting to see how the market responds to this. We don't get these kinds of IPOs very often, so it'll be interesting to see. I'm guessing that because things have been so strong, capital market activity is so strong that that the market will be excited about it. And then Klarna aims to raise 1.2 billion in a US IPO. Again, this is fresh news. They're going to be issuing about 34 million shares, about between $35 to $37 per share. This is a fintech company, and you can see their ticker there. So IPO news, remember, companies aren't going to go IPO into questionable market environments. Companies are looking for the strongest possible market environments to issue those initial public offerings, and it's a good sign to see that companies are still feeling good about that. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.